Hey guys, it's Mrs. Anglade, and I'm here to do the lesson on dividing by breaking up numbers. So, we've been talking the past few days about how to use the multiple tower of 21 to find out how many groups of 21 are in a number, like 420 or 840 or 1197 or any multiple of 21. Some of them came out to be even answers for quotients, and some of them came out to have remainders. Well, today we want to do a little bit more of that, but the difference between today's lesson and the lesson on the multiple tower of 21 is that now we're not going to make an entire multiple tower. Okay? So let me show you what I mean. If you don't already have your notebook set up, you want to go ahead and do that. Our title is Dividing by Breaking Up Numbers, and that's exactly what we're going to do today. We're going to kind of do backwards clustering, okay? We spent a lot of time in the last few lessons talking about clustering with multiplying. The reason we did that was we want to now uncluster, if you will, okay? We want to take clusters away instead of putting them together. So I'll show you how that works. Kind of like what we were doing on the multiple tower of 21. If I want to know 290 divided by 18, do you also agree, hopefully, that this also means 18 groups of something equals 290? So it's our job to figure out what that number is. Okay? So here's what I would do. I would think about some multiples. Like if I were going to make a multiple tower, here's what I just kind of do off on the side. I jot down, I jot down that one group of 18 is 18, right? That would be on my multiple tower, right? Well, if I know one group is 18, what have we been talking about the last few days? If I know one group, do I know 10 groups? I'm hoping that you out there are saying yes. Yes, of course I know that what 10 groups is, right? 10 groups is the 18 with a 0 added at the end, right? That's how we multiply by 10. Well, if you know one group, do you know two groups? It takes a little bit of work. Not too bad. Okay? 10 doubled is 20. 8 doubled is 16. Together make 36. Do you know what 20 groups are? If you know that two groups is 36, what's 20 groups? Write it down right now. Think you know it. I hope you said 360. Okay? All right. We could do 3 groups if you want to. Let's just go ahead and jump to 5 groups. Now, you might be thinking, Mrs. Anglade, why are you doing 5 groups? Well, remember, over here, don't I know what 10 groups are? Remember that lesson a few days ago? If I know 10 groups, do I know 5 groups? Think about the relationship. I hope you're saying, oh, Mrs. Anglade, of course I know what 5 groups are. It's half of 180. So my answer for 5 groups is 90. Okay. Now, here's what I do, is I go ahead and I start to cluster. Okay? So let's put this in a story context first of all. 290. I'm usually going to use candy in bags at this time of the year. I don't know. Halloween candy. I have 290 pieces of candy, and I want to put 18 pieces of candy into a bag. Okay? The question is, what's the number of bags that I can make? Number of bags that can be made. Okay? Alright, so here's my question. Let's see, I have 290 pieces of candy. Can I do 10 groups? I'm just going to jot it down right over here. Oops. Sorry. Okay, so 18 times 10 is 180. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start with my pieces of candy that I had to start off with. Once I've made 10 bags of 18 pieces in a bag, I'm going to take that away from what I know. And that leaves me with 110. Now, what does that represent? That represents the number of pieces of candy that I still have left to put into baggies. Okay? So let's see. I don't have enough for 10 more bags, do I? I see this. Do I have enough for 5 bags? 5 times 18 is 90, right? So let's take away 90. I get 20 left. Let's see. Now, how am I figuring that out? These are your pieces of candy up here. 1 bag has 18, 2 bags have 36, 5 bags have 90. I'm just kind of taking a look and seeing what, these would be your multiples on your tower, right? I'm just doing a few of them. You don't have to do them all, do you? I mean, we did them all for the 21 tower so you could see how it worked, but when we go to find groups, do we really need them all? No. So I am clustering over here. I first did 10 bags of 18. Now I'm doing 5 bags of 18. What else can I do? I still have 20 pieces of candy left. Do you see that I can still do a bag of 18 to give me 18? Right? Is this going to divide evenly? Am I going to have 0 as my remainder? Nope, I have a remainder of 2. So let's figure out what my answer is, and then we'll figure out what my remainder of 2 is going to do. Alright, so I made 10 bags, I made 5 more bags, and I made 1 more bag after that. So where's my answer? My answer is right here, right? 16 times 18 doesn't equal 290, but it equals 2 less than that, doesn't it? It actually equals 288. So let's answer my question. How many bags can be made out of 290 pieces of candy if you put 18 pieces of candy in each one? What's going to be your answer? What's going to happen with this remainder of 2? Are you going to use it? The question is, how many bags can be made? No, we are not going to use it. Our answer is going to be 16 bags can be made. What if the question would be, how many pieces would be left over? What would the question be then? Or the answer be? It would be 2 pieces would be left over. 2 bags can be made. Okay? Alright, so hopefully that made sense. So to check this, you would say 16 times 18 is 288, and then plus the 2 that you got for remainder. So your answer really is 16 remainder 2. But when it comes to the STARS test, boys and girls, they're not going to ask you to just divide willy-nilly like I'm asking you to do. They're going to give you a story context. They're going to give you a story problem on how to divide a 3-digit by 2-digit. Your job is to figure out how to answer the question that they are asking. It might be how many bags can be made. So that's when you would use 16. It might be if you put an equal number of pieces of candy into each bag, how many pieces of candy would you have left over? That's where you would use 2. And then there's another example where you might want to round this up to the number 17. I can't think of an example right now. Trust me, I will think of an example in a minute. In fact, if the next one has a remainder, maybe we can go ahead and think about it. All right, so the next one is 450 divided by 16. We can also ask it like this. 16 times how many groups is equal to 450, right? It says the same thing. Okay, so let's put it in a story context. I always like bananas and monkeys. Don't know why. Just do. Okay? I think it's fun. Fun to think about bananas and monkeys. All right, so what do you want to do? Do you want to give 16 bananas to each monkey? Or do you want to give the bananas to 16 monkeys? Yeah, let's give 16 bananas to each monkey. So, oops, did I spell it right? Okay, so if I give 16 bananas to each monkey, and I have 450 bananas, what could the question be? How many monkeys will get bananas? Monkeys will get bananas. Okay guys, sorry, I had to pause that. My pen was not writing bananas very well. So, alright, so real quickly, so I don't keep you very long, Let's think about one group is 16. Let's think about my multiple tower of what 16 would look like. So one group would be 16. So what would 10 groups be? Hopefully you said out there 160, right? Let's do 2 groups. What would 2 groups of 16 be? 32. So what would 20 groups be? 320. Okay. Let's go ahead and do 3 groups. 3 groups is, can you add that together? 16 and 32? 48. You said 48 out there. 30 groups would be 480. Now I'm going to stop at 480 when making my big groups. Do you know why? Take a look at what I start with. I only start with 450 bananas. Is there really a reason to continue making my big multiples? No. But you know what? I am going to skip to my 5th multiple. Can you tell me why? Because do I know what the 5th multiple is if I know the 10th? Yes, I hope you're saying, oh, Mrs. Anglade, it's because it's half of it, right? Okay. So now what I'm going to just start doing is I'm just going to start doing some clustering. And then what am I going to do? I'm going to take it away from 450, aren't I? Okay. So let's see. Looks like I can do, I don't quite have enough for 30, right? But I'm almost there. I almost have enough for 30. So I probably, if I had a guess, I bet my answer is going to be in the high 20s. Do you know why? Because I almost have enough for 30 monkeys, don't I? But not quite. Okay, so let's start off by doing 16 times 20 is 320, right? All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to start with 450, and from that, I'm going to take away the 320. Now, what does that 320 represent? It represents 20 monkeys that's able to get bananas, right? Okay, so when I subtract that over here, I get 130. Now what? What can I do? 10 groups is too much. Could I jump down here to 5 groups? So 16 times 5 equals 80. So when I take that away, it gives me 50, right? 13 tens, take away 8 tens is 50. Let's see. What about that 3? 16 times 3 equals 48. When I take that away, it gives me 2 with a remainder of 2. So if I were to add these together, I bet my answer over here is 448, right? Because remember, I don't use 2 of the bananas. But where's my answer here? I kept on making groups of 16, right? I gave 16 bananas to 20 monkeys, then I gave it to 5 more monkeys, and then I gave it to 3 more monkeys. How many monkeys did I give it to altogether? Hopefully you're saying 28. I gave 16 bananas to 28 monkeys for a total of 448, and then I had 2 left over, didn't I? Let's answer my question. What's the number of monkeys that get bananas? I am hoping that you said 28. 28 monkeys got bananas. Okay? What am I going to do with that remainder of 2? For this question, I'm just going to drop it. I'm just going to drop it. Sometimes 2 will be your answer. Sometimes if you need like an extra package of something to feed like at a party or something like that, if it says how many packages of buns might you need, well, you would want to round up to the next package of buns. You don't want to short anybody buns, right? I'll make sure and show you a question like that, but I am running out of time, so I'm going to let you go for today. We're going to do a lot more of this, probably a teacher table, in-class type thing, because once you get comfortable with it, it is not that difficult. So we are finished for today, boys and girls. Hopefully this made sense, and I will see you later.